Hello everyone, welcome along to the shores of Fahid Island and Abu Dhabi for what we should be the final of the World Cup of the GKA Hydrofoil Big Air. We've seen already yesterday our quarterfinals. We saw the quarterfinals for the women 2 days ago, and now we're going to have the semi-finals of the men and the finals of the women. We're going to crown our world champions. My name is Ben Constanduris. This is Liam Dredge alongside me. He knows all of this stuff, and I'm just going to try and hype it up.
We've got a good day ahead of us, Ben, because actually now the local time coming up to around 2, just 2:15, and we've got a decent breeze. I mean, we can't beat around the bush here. The last couple of days have been slightly, let's say, on the lighter side. You know, both afternoons, you know, nowhere really upwards around that sort of 10, maximum 12 knots, I would say. But we've still seen some good action nonetheless. But at the moment, yeah, definitely coming through a little bit stronger, and we're going to be getting underway with these semi-finals.
Yeah, we're expecting about 12 knots of wind, which will be the biggest wind we've had on any competition day so far, and it's good for Abu Dhabi. Let's see how they coped yesterday with about 8 knots of wind.
Welcome to Abu Dhabi's Fahid Island for the final showdown of the GKA Hydrofoil Big Air season.
My name is Andrea Zust. I'm from Switzerland. I'm here in Abu Dhabi now, and at the moment I'm the current Hydrofoil Big Air World Champion in the women's division, and of course I hope to keep that title this year. I'm not going to tell too much about the strategy, but I guess it's always like trying to get the first points for sure, and then just upping the scores with the same tricks or like different variation of those tricks. Foil kite in the low end gives you a little bit of advantage in terms of hang time and in terms of like going higher sometimes. But as soon as the wind is strong enough for a tube kite, I'm just more comfortable on it. And it's a little bit more reactive, it's not as slow. So I think both has its advantages and disadvantages for sure.
The Swiss athlete opens the defense of her crown in emphatic style. Zust is head and shoulders above her rivals and dominates her heat. It's enough to send her straight to the final.
Unfortunately, my 2 heat members didn't see that the heat was on, and so I was doing a show kind of by myself, and that was a little bit weird, but okay. I'm happy. Thank you.
France's Christelle Divry is another rider who books her place in the final in another heat. Her competition debut is marked by a strong performance. The semi-final sees Britain's Annie Branton recover from her slow opening round. In the difficult conditions, she does enough to go forward. The Czech Republic's Kateřina Salandová goes forward to join the others in the final. It will go off as soon as conditions worthy of the deciding heat.
Amazing, really nice conditions. The wind had picked up, so I could go higher, and also my coach helped me a lot, so I could really go for it.
As they wait for their chance to battle the athletes, take a chance to share their stoke with local school children.
We are here at Fahid Island at our World Cup event from the GKA Kite World Tour, and we invited all the school kids from Abu Dhabi to test for the first time what it means to be on the kite and get connected with the water sport in general. And yeah, as you can see, they're all super excited, and I think the next generation of kite surfers is coming from the Middle East.
I want to learn with them, and inshallah I will become a pro athlete.
Hello everyone, my name is Finn Fluge. I'm 16 years old, and we're here right now in Abu Dhabi for the GKA KITE World Tour World Cup. Yeah, for sure my goal is to get the title after this event. Yeah, I got second in Zult, so this means I have to get the first place here. I'm just gonna give it my absolute everything to get the title, and yeah, not looking at the others and just going straight for that first place. I just love being underwater all the time, and this discipline just makes it happen that we can kite all the time. Doesn't matter the wind conditions, if it's strong or light, and we manage to fly and have fun on the water, and yeah, that's what I love about this discipline.
My goal for the second stop here is to take the win as well. So, I mean, that's the only goal really. Yeah, I'm Hugo Wigglesworth. I'm from New Zealand. I'm 19 years old, and we're here in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, Silt went really well for me. It was my first Hydrofoil big air event. Yeah, I feel like I have good experience in those lighter conditions in the 12 to 15 knot range. So, you know, really doing those air style tricks and stuff. And I think it's going to be the same here. So, looking forward to getting on the water. My biggest rival here is probably Finn. So, I mean, not much I can really change to match him, but I'll just do my own tricks and see how that goes.
The New Zealander Wigglesworth's win at the year's opening stop put him top of the rankings heading to Abu Dhabi. Wigglesworth comes out firing and cruises to the heat win. Big Air Twin Tip World Champion Lorenzo Casati is hard on his heels and racks up a big score for his 3 counting tricks to advance as well. The up-and-coming Spaniard, Borja Velon, steals the 3rd quarterfinal with a convincing display. Frederick Szczesny, competing under the United Arab Emirates flag, also goes forward. The German 16-year-old Finn Flugel is all business, taking the heat win with some big moves that show he's gunning for the crown. Both competitions are finally poised. Who will be crowned our champions?
Semi-finals time for the Hydrofoil Big Air Men. And we will be crowning our world champion at the end of today. There are 2 main possibilities to watch out for in heat number 1, Hugo Wigglesworth. He will be in the red bib. And in heat number 2, Finn Flugel finished 3rd in last year's Hydrofoil Big Air. And here are the men that Hugo is going to go up against. Leonardo Casati, the younger Casati, Tamas Deek, and Frederick Szczesny, who's sort of the wild card here from Abu Dhabi, and got himself through in yesterday's competition. He wears the green that he wore in his quarterfinal. And in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen there, you will see the big screen. That gives the athletes their window, and you can see it counts down. So Frederick has 35 seconds to throw his first trick, 7 tricks, 3 will count towards your score. Here we go then. First trick of the day.
Coming in right foot forward, there's the front row, and you can already see that today they're getting much more height, multiple rotations, gets that board off nicely, and yeah, like I said, that little bit, you know, a couple more knots more today, allowing these riders to just go a little bit higher, so we can expect bigger jumps and slightly more technicality in these semi-finals and moving on.
A replay of that first trick will be coming our way shortly. The judges now, there are 4 judges, plus the head judge. They will be scoring those individually. The lowest score from the judges does not count. The other 3 are averaged, and it's a 6.27.
Yeah, nice opening trick there, actually, that 6.27, setting the bar well. Now, Tamas here, left foot forward, so likes to go the other way, going for a back roll with the board off as well. Couple more back rotations. Is he going to add another? Nope, decides against it. Nonetheless, nice landed trick, rides away from that smoothly.
And you can see not only are they able to go bigger, but there's more hang time. So there's more time to throw more rotations, more variation into the trick. Next up is younger Casati, Leonardo.
Yeah, I expect to see some more technicality when it comes to tic-tacs and board flips. Yesterday was pretty much all about, you know, front rolls, back rolls with the 1 foot and the board offs, but we didn't really see too much more than that. I'm not expecting any kite loops today because the wind is still on the lighter side, but definitely going down that air style route as Casati now coming in left foot forward for his first trick attempt as we follow him with the drone, front roll, board off by the back foot strap. And it just looks like he's going to tick that one off nicely.
Oh, Oh, no. Just got his balance slightly wrong as he came back into the water, and unfortunately that's going to be scored as a crash and a no score. Had so much time to prepare as well.
Quite a simple trick for Leonardo as well. It looked like he just wanted to get that one on the board after seeing Fredericks with a 6.27. Getting a nice early score on the board, but yeah, too much front foot pressure, putting the nose of the board in the water, and we're not able to ride away. As currently, this is the man to beat, I would say, in the competition so far. Hugo Wigglesworth going for a back roll with the board off, added rotation with 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that might have been 5 there at the end.
Great opening trick for Wigglesworth, who comes in here as the leader of the series. Just one competition under his belt this year in GKA at Silt at the end of August. And at the end of this one, we will crown the world champion. It is him against Finn Flugel. And we await his first score. A 6.27 on the board, a 5.7. And here is a replay of that trick once more.
So let's count these rotations. So he starts off with the back roll, gets it off by the front foot with the board, with the second back roll. And this is where it gets interesting. You can see yanks on the bar, looping that kite above him, and just looking over that left-hand shoulder, initiating those faster rotations, and pretty much straight back up onto foil. I mean, let's see, we got a 5.7 for a back roll border from Tamas, but with the added rotations of Hugo, we're now seeing pretty much an additional 2 points scored with a 7.23 opening his round.
15 seconds left for Frederick, but I can see that he's in the water, so he's either done his trick or just got caught out there. That is Borja, so that's for the second heat, so we ignore that, that athlete. He's just getting himself warmed up. Yeah. And we've got 30 seconds on blue now, so Tamas Dik for his second attempt. There is still an athlete in the water.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to phase Tamas, though. He's going to jump pretty much on the edge of the box here as he goes for an inverted front roll, grabs the board off with the further rotation, straight back up onto foil. Nice inverted front roll there, where the foil goes right above his head. And what have we seen? We've seen a front roll board off opened up by Frederick with a 6.27. So I would probably think that that trick there around the same.
Interesting that despite the rotations that we saw from Hugo, it's effectively classed as a back row board off, and it's the same scoring in the same trick family as Tamas Dik.
Yeah.
But actually there was a lot more going on in Hugo's with all those extra rotations at the end.
Yeah, and it's worth touching base that these riders, you know, they have to tick different families, and, you know, looking at the trick list, you know, you can't just do the same trick 3 times and get scored 3 times. You know, you have to tick different families. So that's why you see, you know, board offs and 1-foots, tic-tacs, front rolls, back rolls. It's forcing the riders to show a little bit of variety out there on the water, as we see Leonardo here after that initial crash, keeping it nice and together, but a bit of a heavy landing. That's also going to be a crash. Or if it, that's a touchy one there. If the judges score it, it's going to be extremely low.
Surprising start from Leonardo Casati, who was the victor in his heat.
Yeah,
if I can find it.
Here's that back roll with the board off from Leonardo. 1, and just the 2 added rotations. Yeah, but just coming down a bit heavy. Not riding away from that cleanly. They'll score that.
Leonardo Casati went on, was it day 1 where they had their own very light he scored a 19.17 to win his round number 3, heat number 1. We didn't have any round 1 or 2 because everyone progressed through to round 3, such has been the way the dongle has worked out here.
Yeah, part of that as well. You know we've got light conditions. You know, we've got not just this discipline, but we've got freestyle, we've got wing foil, we've also got the SFT here. And just with the lighter conditions that we're facing this week, with, I would say on average, probably at the moment, just a couple of hours of wind, but we should expect maybe 3-4 hours of wind on the following days in the afternoon. We've just managed to quick up the competition ever so slightly by pushing through to round 3 straight away. So Hugo now, still the highest scoring trick of the heat so far. I can't remember what the highest trick was scored yesterday. I believe it was Casati. No, it was Finn Flugel, wasn't it, that scored the highest trick yesterday. But Hugo Wigglesworth had the highest overall heat total as he comes in now for his second trick here. Left foot forward. Started off with the back roll board off. Are we going to see the front roll here to tick that second family? Yes, we are. So there it is, front roll, board off by the back foot strap with the added rotations. You can see just how much he's working that kite when he's really getting up on the edge of the bar. And shows great control from start to finish here. Great height. And you can see just this today how much higher they're able to go. It's at least another 2 or 3 meters than what they were doing yesterday. World Championship title for Hugo on the line. First time he's been in this position.
Yeah, effectively, it's whoever wins, wins between Hugo and Finn if they get into the final.
8.23, that's nice. Highest scoring trick we've seen so far in the competition.
There is still the opportunity for others to win the world title. Lorenzo Casati and Leonardo Casati also have outside chances, but they need Hugo and Finn to effectively not be in that final.
Yeah, and it's looking like, well, I don't want to say anything too early, as we see here, Frederick, nice front roll, gets that board off. Better control here, but nearly skips away from it. Trying to pump the boards. Yeah, crash.
Dies in the water. That's the second crash for Frederick. Here's that replay then.
Yeah, gets a nice front roll there. Grabs the back foot strap. Actually doesn't get his front foot out, so that will just go down as a 1 foot. And just coming in a little bit too fast. You can see just how much he's trying to keep it going. And try and stay in control, but that will still count because it wasn't, I wouldn't say that was a crash as such, but it would just be a very low score given the amount of time he spent in the water coming down from that.
Leonardo did get a back roll board off score from that second attempt, even though it looked as though it may have been a crash. 3.93, not the score that he would be hoping for. Now to Tamás Dík once more, the Hungarian. Didn't see Tamás in silt last time out. And unfortunately, that's a crash for him.
Yeah, I'm just having a little look at some of the scores that we saw yesterday as well from Hugo. We did see an 8.67, which was a front roll board off, which I believe is actually the highest score so far, excuse me, on the trick that he just did. Laying down some biggies in the lighter, even lighter conditions during yesterday. So that's the trick to beat, a front roll board off of an 8.67 yesterday. As we go over to Leonardo now.
Again, lots of hang time for Leonardo, and this time stays on his feet, stays out of the water, so that's at least a completed score. Let's have a look at how good the trick was. Once again. Board off.
Showing a little bit of style there on his way down.
He seems to have a long hang time, has a lot of time to think about what he needs to do to really do it cleanly.
Yeah, that's what you get with these kites as well, though. These foil kites, they do offer, they get a little bit more power. You get a lot more power, in these lighter winds and, a load more hang time. And it just allows these riders, when they're performing these sort of air-style tricks, to, be more technical, have the board off their feet for a little bit longer. And there's a 6.20 from Leonardo.
That's better for him. Bit of a gesticulation to the beach as to why perhaps looking at the judges' tower and wondering what was going on. But we focus our attention on Hugo, who's got his window now of 40 seconds to throw down a trick, a 7.23, an 8.23.
Back roll. Looks like he wanted to go for grab the board there. Such a good tornado effect on the way down. It'd be interesting to see this trick from the other angle, as the replay shows here. So plenty of speed, back roll. Yeah, looks like he did get the 1 foot. Struggling to see the 1 foot there on the drone. Good amount of travel distance as well from Hugo here. That's another thing the judges look at, how much distance is the rider recovering on each trick.
That surely is going to be a big score.
Well, it's going to be a third family as well.
And 3 tricks on the board, the first to do so. Hugo absolutely in control as we move into the second half of this semi-final heat number 1. You get 7 trick attempts, only 3 count. Still waiting for the judges to score that trick. He comes over towards the scoreboard to be as close as possible to the news.
Well, he's had pretty much a perfect start to this semi-final. What was his? Yeah, 21.57 was his total score yesterday, and I think, well, I'm pretty sure that we will see that be pushed up on this trick. There you go, 6.37 for Hugo. Fourth trick attempts now, reaching that halfway point in this heat.
Oh dear, Frederick down in the water even before it started. Got the 2.2 for his front roll 1 foot earlier on.
So there it is, back roll, board off, additional second rotation, no, but decides against it. Couldn't quite get the board back on his feet. So fourth trick is a crash here for Frederick.
A reminder, he is sort of a late addition and a last minute entry, possibly his first ever competition.
Yeah.
And so it is not a surprise that there are a few struggles. The level here has really upped. I mean, getting into a semi-final against the level that we already have is mighty impressive from Frederick. Tamas next up. At the moment, Tamas just fractionally ahead of Leonardo Casati.
Yep, going for the 1 foot with the back roll, but coming down tail first. So a crash for Tamas. I remembered Frederick yesterday. Remember when he had that kite in the water for, I think, what was it, 2 goes, and he still made it through due to the others not being able to lock in a score. So 21.38 from Hugo so far, total score. Okay, so that's not the best heat total score we have seen yet from him. So Leonardo now, 4th trick attempt, left foot forward, follow in with the drone. Nice takeoff, back roll. And we're going to be seeing a lot of that tornado style on the way down. Coming in with speed, that's really important. The speed is their friends. Gets the 1 foot, but you know, you can see there on the 1 foot, doesn't, you know, extend that leg out to the sides. You know, judges want to see that. If you're going to be doing board offs, you know, you want to be taking that board fully away from your body. Nice extension with the legs, and then getting it back on. So it will score for Leonardo, and it will tick that family he's missing. But it will definitely be a score that he wants to probably improve.
4.27 then for Leonardo. That gives him a total, and he gets all 3 scores on the board. A limited amount of families in these light conditions, because there's 3 families that have loops in that they're not really being able to do in this big air competition. It is more freestyle today. And Hugo Wigglesworth getting a 4 score, although the landing almost backwards there.
Yeah, but look at that. He somehow manages to get back up onto foil. As we see here, the front roll. Looks like he was swapping his feet there, actually, like a foot swap. Mid-air. It'd be good to maybe try and see that one again, if possible.
Certainly.
Well, yeah, I think he changed his feet during the jump.
He may not have enough time to throw the replay in again. Oh, we're going to have
yeah, let's definitely
have a shot.
It's worth a second one. Here we go. Keep an eye on the feet. Yeah, he does. He changes his feet during the jump.
Yeah, nice.
Which we have not seen. You can see just trying to fish out that back foot. And still manages well to add in those rotations. That's something that we haven't seen before.
No wonder the judges are taking their time to score this. A 7.23, a 6.37, and an 8.23 on the board already. The 8.23 is for the front roll board off. Back roll board off the 7.23. Back roll 1 foot for the 6.37. And so we continue to wait for the judges to decide.
Yeah, they'll be watching the replays on that one. I actually knew that was going to be coming because I had a little cheeky chat with Hugo at lunch. I said, you know, have you got anything up your sleeve, mate? What are you going to Anything for me to know about? And he said, I've got one thing, but I'm not going to tell you. And
Was
I said,
that thing then?
I said, come on, Hugo, you've got to tell me. And he said he was going to do a foot swap. Had me slightly confused at the start, but now we've seen it, and there it is, a 7, which, bumps out that 6.37 for that back roll 1 foot, and gives him now the highest total heat score of this competition, a 21.83.
On course for finals and potentially on course for the World Championship is Hugo Wigglesworth from New Zealand. Let's switch our attention to Frederick Shineski. He's only got 2 scores on the board and 2 crashes.
Double back roll, board off into a nice big back slap.
And he once again abandons the trick. We saw that on his last one. The level has upped and Frederick slightly struggling, but there's a battle for the second position in that final between the Hungarian Tamás Dík and Leonardo Casati. Tamás needs a score on the board, but a 4.2 is enough to get him ahead of Leonardo. So let's see what he chooses. A crash the last 2 attempts.
Yeah, he's looking for that third trick as well to count. Whereas both Leonardo and Hugo, they have those 3 tricks. They have those 3 families. Another one looking for that third family is here, Tamás. After having a couple of crashes, is it going to be a third? No, it's not. So we'll just dive deeper into this trick here. Coming in with speed. Nice pop, goes for the back roll with the 1 foot. Gets the board back on, adds in another back roll with a third. So nice 3 rotations there for Tamás. And he hasn't got that family yet, so that will give him his third score he's been hunting down.
Let's see, though, whether that goes ahead of Casati. 3.73 is not good enough to take second position. And now just 2 more attempts from Tamás to get himself into the final here in Abu Dhabi. Leonardo Casati next then. He has an outside chance, much like his brother, to win the world title. But firstly, he needs to get into the final. He's in there at the moment, but looking to move the target away from the Hungarian. And here's the next one.
Yeah, his lowest one is a back roll board off at the moment, 3.93.
No
so that'll
points
be the,
for a swim.
That'll be the family he wants to improve. That 3. He's got a 6.2 for a front roll board off. That's a nice score there. The back roll 1 foot, a 4.27. So yeah, either one, the back roll board off or the back roll 1 foot with the tricks that he's got remaining, he'll probably look to change. He's got his brother on the beach as well, Lorenzo Casati, as his caddy. Not a bad caddy to have, if you ask me. But Hugo now, your current heat leader. Lowest score for him was that innovation we saw with the foot swap of a 7. So let's see what he's got here. Coming in with loads of speed and great height here. Going for the rodeo as well. So that's a proper rodeo when you get the board between your legs and you take both hands off the board. And in mid-air with the travel distance as well. You know, a little claim as well at the end.
So good from Hugo Wigglesworth. You see the level difference here from the New Zealander.
Yeah, back roll, gets the board off, puts it between his feet and legs, sorry, and sort of sits on it during a whole rotation. And getting the board off, and look, straight onto foil as well. The board didn't even touch the water, and that's going to give him a few extra points from the judges. That 7's definitely going to be eliminated from that one.
Back roll, rodeo, 8.37. Yeah. Moving his total to 23.6. Some of our freestyle girls out there on the beach chilling out.
Yeah, what Hugo's doing really nicely here is he's really experimenting with different tricks and different families. You know, that's why it's so important. If you can start your heat off with getting 3 tricks on the board, it allows you to open up and free up a bit. And now he's seeing what's scoring well in these conditions, which is going to be perfect prep for the final.
Frederick, local boy, 3 crashes to his name, and that's the 4th, I'm afraid. And the kite has gone into the water. He's on a 12 today. We've got a few guys out on 12s and a few guys out on 15s. Or is that a 15? No, it is a 12. Yeah. He's on a slightly smaller kite.
Yeah, it seemed like 15 was the small option yesterday. So.
Yeah. Well, my app said 19 was what you needed. I mean, generous that the app told me to get a kite out with conditions at 19. Unfortunately, there will be that again across the rest of our week here. There is wing foiling as well as the freestyle GKA and hydrofoil, and then we do have some wake foiling next weekend as well from the SFT tour. Tamas Dijk then trying to depose Leonardo Casati.
He's got a lot of weight going back there, yeah. You can see there, all the weight going back, sort of ended up not crashing that one out, but not having a smooth landing.
Here he goes again. But unfortunately, a crash at the end of this one, so a no score. Again, has time to sort it out right at the end. Worth mentioning, Wigglesworth is not only the biggest scorer, he is also not crashed.
Yeah, he hasn't even got his toes wet.
Next up, Leonardo Casati then. In the water at the moment. Still waiting on the score for Tamas Dijk, so he's got time. 4.6 to Tamas, but that 4.6 is not an improvement on the 5.7. So weirdly, he's targeted his highest score to try and improve, and that means that he stays in third position as Casati goes again. Penultimate attempt.
Yeah, that's a nice little landing there. Doesn't ride out of it, let's say, cleanly straight onto the foil. But we watch the replay here as he goes for the back roll. Board off, maybe wanting to go for the rodeo at one point during there. But the back roll board off is a 3.93. No, so he's just focusing on upping that lower score. He knows what he needs to do. I mean, Tamas is hot on his heels with 13.96, but yeah, let's see if that 3.93 does get pushed out. But Hugo now. So what's his lowest score? I mean, it's still the innovation that we saw with the foot swap, which was a 7. He's got 2 scores in the 8s. And he's now going for his 6th trick attempt. So you can see there, he's just looking over his shoulder to the right, because that's where the screen is, where the riders can see their scores. And when their flag comes up, or when their light colour comes up.
6.13 for Leonardo Casati. He moves further away from Tamas Dijk. It's going to have to be a really, really big one as Wigglesworth goes again, but almost certainly our winner in semi-final heat number 1. A little bit of a stall at the end of that trick.
Yeah, that's not going to do any difference to Hugo's score.
Innovation score still sitting on the board, that's 7. He actually got a better score for the back roll board off, but of a 7.23 on his first attempt, but then he improved that family.
Yeah, I mean, Hugo knows that he's safe now. I mean, he's in the final, whatever happens, so he doesn't need to try anything stupid or, or do anything too pushy. But I mean, this is also a really good opportunity to maybe try and see if another family will score well.
Frederick then, one final trick from him. A 5.47 for Hugo, so that doesn't score. That's not a surprise. And we are now on the 7th and final tricks of our athletes. No chance for Frederick to get through into the final, sadly for him. But one last opportunity to lay down a score with 4 crashes to his name. Just 2 scores on the board. And now he comes towards us and into the competition area.
Yeah, it'd be nice if he can get this last one done and have 3 tricks counting to his score. Focus on the face there, coming in, takes a deep breath. Steers that kite up to 12, back roll with a 1 foot. And it looks like he does make it there. So nice there from Frederick. I thought at one point he was coming in a bit too hot and he might crash. He looked out of control slightly. But it looked like he managed to save it there. Nice start, gets the foot, extends it back, puts the back foot in. This is where I thought he lost it, just at the end there.
Not too bad a landing in the end after the sort of, as you say, slightly out of control. So that will be a score for him. And we'll be focusing our attention on whether Tamas Dijk can improve. He needs a big score, Tamas, because he's got 3.73 on the board. And he needs another 2.6 improvement. So he needs a 6, really, on that back roll 1 foot to improve that. Here he goes. Board off. Decent height. Oh, just about saves the landing. Thought for a moment he was going swimming, but Tamas Dik does save it.
Yeah, I mean, but he went for the back roll board off, which is his highest scoring trick that he has. So 5.7, if you ask me, that's not going to be enough.
Well, strategically, he needs to get an 8 then.
Yeah.
And that's just not going to be that.
Yeah, and you're seeing as well the ones that are scoring well, for example, like the Hugo and the Finns, you know, when they're doing those back row or front row board offs, once they've got that board on their foot, they're then initiating that fast sort of, you know, 5 or 6 other rotations on the way down before landing. And that's just giving them, you know, a few extra points. So I can't see that 5.7 being improved there for Tamas.
If this is not an 8, then Tamas does not go through and our finalists, and it is a 5.8. So it is a marginal improvement on that first trick that he did. But it will be this man, Leonardo Casati, the 16-year-old, and Hugo Wigglesworth, the New Zealander, going through into our finals. It does mean that the championship is still alive for this Italian. And now a test of what he perhaps can offer us in the final coming up a bit later.
Yeah, just back roll 1 foot here. With those rotations, but a crash. So that will be a crash. That would have been interesting, huh? If Tamas actually went for the back roll 1 foot, or you know, maybe ticked another family, made it, and then Leonardo followed up with a crash, could have been a different story.
Some of our freestyle athletes out there. There's obviously not a hydrofoil, that one. Hugo coming across the competition area and goes for a trick in front of our comms box. There he is.
Oh, he's just chilling.
Well, there's no pressure. There's no pressure for him whatsoever.
It's like one of those toys, you know, that you wind up and then you just let it go, and then he's just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning.
Here's that last trick then from the replay. Nice and high. No chance to see the horizon.
He went for the foot swap again. That's what he went for. He swapped his feet. So, yeah, innovation again from Hugo.
Now, it was a 7 it was scored last time.
Yeah.
Whether the judges... It certainly had height.
Yeah, the height was there for sure, definitely.
Let's see what that last score is. And then that is our first competition over. Our first semi-final. Waiting on that last score. Again, because it's an innovation, it takes a bit more time to discuss with the judges what it should be. 7.67, so an improvement on his innovation earlier on. And wants something up his sleeve for the final. Leonardo Casati and Hugo Wigglesworth go through. That man, Frederick, the local boy, and Tamas Dik are eliminated, and we have 2 of our finalists established.
Welcome to Abu Dhabi's Fahid Island.
One minute and 40 seconds before we go to our next competition. Let's take a look at some of those high-scoring tricks from Hugo Wigglesworth. Here's second trick with the rodeo. And then his third score right at the end was that change of foot. There it is. Struggled a little bit to get the foot in, but then was able to put this tornado effect. Had so much height on that last trick. Was able to get away from it. Coming up then in the next semi-final, Luca Halvorsen, who is our GKA wildcard, Lorenzo Casati, older brother, Borja Velon in the yellow there, and Finn Flugel.
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really good heat. Lorenzo Casati also in with a shot. We'll be looking to go through. Finn Flugel. I mean, needs no introduction. One of the top freestyle riders in the world. Also the Youth Big Air World Champion. Got that title over in St. Peter-Ording earlier on in the year. And again, he'll be looking to, well, he wants another World Championship. That's why he's here. So he wants to try and take the Hydrofoil Big Air and give Hugo a right old battle. But we're not going to write off the others either. Borja, riding from out of Spain, a very, very solid hydrofoil athlete as well. And then we have Luke, actually based out here with the family from America.
So Borja won that heat number 3 that Frederick also qualified through on with a 15.13. Robbie James was missing out of that heat. He is here, damaging his foot.
Yeah.
And Francois Caro was the man who was eliminated. Here's the first trick, though, from Lucas. And, wow.
I guess a bit of updrift.
That was a little bit of a surprise. Got caught out by the pull of the kite may go down in the water here.
He's got it. He's going to save it.
It's a big 15.
It's all good.
It's going to be a no score because it obviously is a crash, but the judges will just give it a few moments for him to clear the competition area before releasing Lorenzo Casati in the blue. Casati also with a 15. Just trying to see out the back. There is a. Is it Finn out there at the back with a duotone wing kite?
I don't know. I reckon Finn's for sure going to be on a foil kite after seeing the last heat take place. I'm pretty sure they're all going to be on a foil kite.
So somebody out. It's a gong out the back, isn't it? Not a duotone. Here we go then. Lorenzo Casati, the brother, going for the grab, but has to take 2 snaps at it. And again, an updraft.
Oh, there we go. That's nice from Lorenzo. Shame he couldn't get that board off earlier. You see, straight away he tried to get the board off, but yeah, just didn't quite feel it. And then he went into the remaining part of that trick and actually did then take the board off. And then, yeah, getting a little bit of sort of, we call it the magic gust. That's what they call it. Yeah, the magic gust. Got to catch that magic gust. And it sort of allows you to then, when you're looping the kite, so when you see these riders coming down from their jumps, you can see they're really yanking on one side of the bar. What that's doing is it's looping the kite above them. And what that can sometimes cause is it allows the kite to attract a little bit more wind, and they sort of bounce up and get that little bit of updraft, which allows them to stay in the air a little bit longer, travel a little bit more distance, again, which is something that the judges are looking for.
Still waiting for that front roll board off score from Lorenzo Casati. And obviously judges discussing that one. Borja waiting for himself to be released. A 5.67 the first score on the board then for Lorenzo. I think he'll be looking to improve on that one. He'll need to if he wants to compete for the world title. Borja Velon then, the 34-year-old Spaniard in the yellow, comes steaming into competition zone, right foot forward.
Yeah, Bora riding for Fly Surfer. Oh, I was just lost that one at the start there. I think that was a front roll that he put in with the board off.
And again, decent hang time. That wind is starting to fill in out there. That's positive news for the freestylers who are getting themselves ready for competition. And here is that trick then. And look at this, how much extra time at the end he has to be able to set himself up for the landing. There's Finn Flugel. He'll be the next one to run. It's between himself and Hugo for the world title. Waiting on that score for Borja. Another front roll board off.
It's good to see those flags moving like that, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely the best wind that we've seen over the days that we've been here so far.
Yeah. First time we've seen the freestyle athletes actually on the water riding a twin tip as well, which tells you that it's windy.
I mean, it's not windy. It's not. This is not Tarifa, but it is. No. There is some wind. A 6.17 for Borja. We focus our attention now on Finn, and he is on a Fly Surfer.
Yeah, goes to the back roll board off. They're
nice.
all riding those kites. in these conditions.
Yeah, so I wonder who is on, who's got a gong kite out the back.
Yeah, Finn's also riding the Mio boards. So, sort of they focus more on that sort of foil setup, let's say.
Here we go then. Tic-tac from Finn.
Yep. Nice stuff. Gets it off by the back foot strap.
And we're waiting on that score. Judges taking their time over the start of this semi-final heat number 2. 7.33 goes into the lead, as you would expect. And now back to Lucas, who crashed in his first trick attempt. The American saving that blue kite from going into the water. Tide coming in as well with us. Quite shallow water where he is there. Needs to be careful with the foils. Now comes in to the competition area. He's got a slight issue with the kite, actually. I can see it's, and the kite's pulled him over.
Yeah, it's not quite, he's not got the kite, like, it's not properly inflated, let's say. You could see that the wingtip there was still sort of not full. Yeah,
we need to see the kite to see what's going on here.
Yeah, he's really having to work
it. It's the kite that's the problem.
I mean, it's all over the shop, isn't it?
But
it's better now.
Like, no, I'm not sure. That left edge there is still wrapped around each other. And so no score for Lucas.
Maybe a line is caught or something.
It did look like there was a line around the edge. Yeah. So Lorenzo Casati then goes for his second attempt. Coming in right foot forward, giving us a really good opportunity to see him.
Yeah, this is a nice angle to start the tricks. You see that front roll with the 1 foot, 1, 2, 3, 4 rotations as he comes down. So he's done the front roll board off. He's done the front roll 1 foot. It's got to be a back roll board off or a back roll 1 foot next, isn't it?
See what the judges thought of this. Just to give you an idea of exactly what the judging criteria is: height, power, flow, and amplitude, and technical difficulty. That's what they're really looking out for. Clean execution, controlled with stylish tricks and solid landings. Commitment and risk. Grabs will only be awarded if they add style, and board-offs and 1-footers must be clearly visible with stretched legs. 5.03 there for Casati. Innovation, new tricks not listed in the trick list count as innovation, obviously. Pushing new unseen tricks will be rewarded if well executed. Kite loops, we're not going to see many of them. Surface tricks scored, but higher jumps and power moves are valued more. Borja on then.
Nice, look how long he has the board off there for. Really nice. I would have liked to have seen another rotation coming down, but...
Oh, and he's died in the water as well. And the kite is absolutely not flying. Need to see the kites.
I do love the style there that Borja had, you know, having that board off for quite some time during that maneuver. But Finn, bird's eye view. Back roll.
Kind of a difficult one to see.
Difficult one when we're looking down like that. But still, here we go. We see from the other angle.
I'm afraid that is a splashdown landing, though. He did crash. So
back roll with the board off. And then the rotations, as we have seen so regular.
Oh, I don't know how he crashed there. Looked absolutely fine. Just had a little bit too much weight forward.
Exactly, yeah, and then just came out both straps. Ah, the locals getting involved. He didn't like that, did he?
Fahid Island is where we are, just off the famous Yas Island, where the Yas Marina Formula One circuit is, and Ferrari World, Really a great place to have your holidays, which so many people seem to be doing this week, as it's half-term week. And we are just off there. It's only about 2-3 minute drive from Yas Island. And Luca's just about getting a trick in before the timer expires. And lands it, so that'll be a score. It's first score of the day.
Yeah, that's going to be nice for Lucas there. Getting a trick on the board, it's always a nice way to start your heat. But yeah, like you said, a couple of crashes to open up, so he'll be pleased with this one.
He was one of the athletes to progress 2 days ago when we had a very light wind heat alongside Paris Hooper-Kay and Per Schneider. He actually eliminated Per, who is one of our better known athletes, out of the competition. He got a 14.04. Per was only able to do a 10.97. So that's how he progressed through into this semi-final.
5.03 there.
Front row 1 foot for Lorenzo Casati. And so we are waiting on Lucas's score, which is a back roll. That's now come up as a 3.8.
Yeah, I think that 5.03 that's being shown was the previous score of Lorenzo. So now this is his trick attempt for his third trick. Coming in a bit heavy.
Yeah.
So points to be deducted a little bit from that landing.
Slightly slow landing in comparison to what we've seen before.
Yeah, he's ticked that third family, though, with that back roll. So rotating the other way than what he previously has done for his first 2 attempts. And Border here has a front roll board off of a 6.17. So has a lot of room for growth with his score. Waiting for that last trick from Lorenzo. You can see there 4 sort of numbers beneath that waiting scores, and that's just our total heat score for the riders that are in the water at the moment. So they can see their individual score when it comes up after each trick, but then they're also able to see their total heat score throughout the whole heat.
We will see the female women's final after this. The 4 best women from their semi-finals that have been sort of spread over the last couple of days. And then we will see the men's final directly after that. We may get some freestyle competition in too, with some of the athletes out on the water now getting themselves warmed up. Borja Velon.
All right, front roll board off. Adds in that second round and third rotation. Quite sort of slow and in control there, but the fast landing.
As you say, the kite rotating over his head at the same time.
Yeah, they're always down looping when they're coming down from their jumps. And this one gives a little bit more of a better view here. As you can see, sort of inverted front row as well. Gets that foil nice and high above him. Takes the board off by the back foot strap. Puts the front foot back in. You can see there really pulling on the line of the kite, initiating that down loop, which gives him a little bit more lift and also able to travel a little bit further in the box. And pretty much gets back up to his foil. So a nice score there for Bora, I expect. And he's only got 1 on the board as well, so that's definitely going to see his score bump up.
Borja finishing 3rd in the semi-final in Silt. So sits 7th in the rankings for this year. We await the score. I would have thought that front roll board off will score well. 7.43. Should be happy with that. That's the best score in this particular competition in heat number 2. We are now on to trick attempt number 3 as well. So moving into the second half of this competition. Finn Flugel, just a 1 score on at the moment. And gets a again, nearly did the same thing as what he did earlier.
Yeah, he's ticking the back roll family now. Has a front roll tic-tac. That's a 7.33. And now he's just ticked that other family from the back roll board off.
Heads up towards the scoreboard. Here it is again.
So first rotation gets the board off. Let's count those rotations. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3. So 4 rotations overall there.
Still just a second trick on the board. Lorenzo Casati leads, and it is a 6.43 for Finn. So not not scored particularly highly. Certainly if he wants to fight Hugo Wigglesworth in the final, he is going to need something bigger than that. Back to Lucas then. Got a score from his last attempt. Back roll. Has had a few issues with his kite and a few crashes. Here we go.
Front roll, inverted front roll with the board off.
Oh, and ditches the board quite high in the air when he decided to ditch the board there. And goes for a decent swim. So that's another 0 score.
The wingfoil athletes, Ankor Sosa there and Mardiase. Two of the top riders on the GWA, released for today. So we'll see them in action at some point this week. We've got free fly slalom here. So if you like your sort of racing and seeing how these guys and girls push the wingfoil discipline, that'll be in action later on this week.
Lorenzo Casati, older brother of Leonardo. He's already through into the final. Can he join his brother? At the moment, leading and goes for another big trick. Lots of travel across our window here in the commentary position. Difficult to see from the drone shot what that is.
Yeah, back roll board off there from Lorenzo. You can see here, back roll. And then, yeah, nicely comes out of there for Lorenzo.
Now, 4.93 is lowest of the 3 scores. Got a 5.0 on their front roll board off, so that actually is going to try and improve his best score on the board right now. 5.67 is the front roll board off from his first attempt. It is an improvement, goes up to a 6, but in terms of his total, it only improves in 0.33 of a point. He still leads. Borja then, big score in his last trick. But only 1 score on the board because the 2 that he has scored were from the same family, were the same trick. Here he goes up into the air.
Oh, nice height there from Borja. One of the riders actually that's going the highest and coming in with a big amount of speed.
Again, a board off. Same trick as he attempted earlier. But unfortunately crashes down. So starting to run out of trick attempts for Borja with only 1 score on the board. It's a good score. It's the best score of the competition in heat number 2. But he's only got 1 on there. Finn Flugel then, second position right now. Whether he's second or whether he's first, it doesn't matter. They're going in through to the final.
It's a back roll 1 foot there for Finn. Really trying to work it to get back on that foil as quickly as possible. Body language tells me that he's not quite happy with it, but it will be that 3rd trick that he's missing. So expect Finn now to push up just about into 1st place. You can see here, back roll 1 foot. And just watch the landing here. You can see, lands a little bit heavy, just trying to pump that momentum back into the foil, and just at the end here, he seems he was relatively happy with it. Knows he can do better though. I mean, at the moment, what we're seeing so far in this heat, if Hugo Wigglesworth goes and lays down what he did in the semi-final, it's going to be a tough one to follow.
5.60 for Finn Flugel. It's a 19.36 total. It's pretty good as the wingers get themselves ready for a bit of a sesh this afternoon. They are released, so that's just for fun and a bit of training. Lucas now goes for his trick.
Oh.
He's actually not in the competition area, that trick. It's miles out. And in fact, was that even Lucas?
Yeah, that was. Oh, it's a tough one.
I don't think it was, because he's not in the competition area, and it's not the same kite that he was using earlier as well. So I think that may well be somebody else.
Well, either way, Lucas's clock is ticking now, so hopefully we'll see him enter the box.
Can't see him out my window.
Could well be Lucas.
There is Lorenzo Casati, who would be next up. And, awaiting scores. But you can't be scored outside the competition box. And he's behind the...
Yeah, there you go. It's gone down as a 0.
Yeah.
So that was Lucas.
He is outside. He's behind the safety boat that's out there. So Lorenzo back into the box then. Far left-hand corner, closest to Fahid Island Beach Club. Gives him a bit of a show.
Front roll, board off. With the tornado. You see they're redirecting the kite the other way. And rides away nice and smoothly there. So his lowest score at the moment is actually a back roll board off of a 4.93. This is the front roll, board off with the second, 2, 3, 4 rotations. Interested that he's actually gone for that trick because that's, his lowest score is the back roll board off.
6.9. So a slight improvement again for Casati. Moves him a little bit further away from Borja Velon, but really Borja needs to get 2 scores. He's got 3 attempts left, and he needs to get 2 big scores on the board to progress through to the final. Here we go. Board off for a very long time, and this time he lands it nice and safely.
Yeah, I thought at one moment there during that trick, he was going to press the button of abort, but he managed to keep it together. Water as well. He always looks like he's coming in like fully loaded, you know, plenty of speed. And you can see that the speed is helping with the height that he's being able to generate on his tricks.
That switch in the air, does that count for much?
Yeah, no, the judges will like that, showing a little bit of technicality.
Still puts a lot of pressure on Borja if he wants to progress through. It'll be eliminating his fellow Spaniard, Lorenzo Casati. But at least he's now got and the judge is calling that a front roll tic-tac.
Yep. Yeah, we saw that as well from Finn. The tic-tac actually slightly sort of, let's say, better performed. You can see that in the scores.
And the tic-tac's in the legs, right?
It's to do with the boards.
Oh, it's through the board, okay. So 6.6.
So back roll. And there we see as well the tic-tac.
So got a front roll tic-tac from Finn, his first attempt. Now goes for a back roll tic-tac.
Yeah, and I like this second rotation here that he does after the first. Comes out of it, then shows a technicality with the board, puts the front foot in, then the back foot, and is able to ride out of that one smoothly. That's definitely gonna give Finn an edge on what he already has down on the table of a 19.36. Francesco Capuzzo there in the middle. He's going to actually be fighting for a world championship on the free fly slalom. Front roll tic-tac there from Bora with the 6.6. That was the one before. We're just waiting for Finn's score now to come down and be loaded.
And then it will be just 2 more attempts from our athletes. Lucas with only 1 score on the board.
Yeah, Lucas is going to really struggle here.
Pretty much out of it, isn't he?
Yeah, it's going to be tough to follow, especially with some of the scores that was being seen thrown down on the end of this heat. You know, we're upwards in the 7s now, or just shy. You know, 6.90 from Lorenzo, 6.6 for Bora, and now an 8.07.
Wow.
For that back roll tic-tac of Finn Flugel. We knew it was going to be good.
It's taking his time, isn't it? But slowly but surely, he's showing his class. Hugo with a 24.27 total. So Finn a few points off that. Needs to improve that 5.6 on his last 2 trick attempts. Here comes Lucas then with just 1 score. Oh, that's a decent.
He's gone for a quadruple front roll without the board.
Don't confuse me. I was about to go, is that an actual trick? No.
Maybe we've invented a new category here on this one.
Body skimming.
Let's just see what it looks like. Oh, I don't actually know. Maybe we can watch that one more time to see what happens there. That'll be really interesting. Maybe there was something in the water that it doesn't look like the nose went down.
No, it almost looked like the rear foot.
Yeah. He looked, interesting. So let's have a little closer look here. So here we go. Plenty of speed. And let's have a look. Does he hit something?
I mean,
oh, you can see, I'm not quite, I mean, the back of the foil there, you can see it was just on, it was really on the limit of, basically that happening.
Up in the air is Lorenzo Casati. Needs to land this trick because he's got Borja coming at him.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Oh, no, he's in the water. That's maybe not going to be a crash. Pretty close, though.
Yeah, but it's going to be deductive points either way if it does come in.
Oh, if he hadn't had that, that looked like it was really working out for him. The Spanish-Italian.
Always the way. What if?
And they scored it as a 0. They scored it as a crash.
Yep.
Right, Borja Velon then. 2 more attempts to go. Still needs that 3rd score on the board. He only needs a 2.8 to be into 2nd position to eliminate Lorenzo Casati.
We've got to see some sort of back rotation here from Bora. He's got the front roll board off. He's got the front roll tic-tac. He can go for the front roll 1 foot, or we're going to see that back roll. We're going to see the back roll. Yes. Oh, it doesn't look like maybe a back roll 1 foot. Playing it safe here, Bora.
Serious hang time at the end of the trick.
And a good amount of distance covered and a little 360 rotation at the end there. Let's watch that one. Here we go. So, Bora gets the takeoff. Nice. Good height. Board off. Good extension. Keeps the board off for a long amount of time as well, which I like. Showing control. And this is where he's down looping the kite. And just at the end here, shows a little 360. I think he actually did that on purpose because I actually think if he didn't do that 360, he probably would have found himself in the drink. I think that helped create a little bit of line tension there. So he's been able to ride out of that one smoothly. And that's for sure, that's going to put him into 2nd place now.
A back roll board off. Pressure back on Lorenzo Casati for the final trick, a 7.1.
Nice.
Look at that for consistency across his 3 tricks.
Yeah, that's a really good score there.
But it takes away the score of his tic-tac.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, actually. We'll wait for confirmation there on the trick categories that are counting towards Borja's score. But we focus at the moment on Finn Flugel for his 6th trick attempt.
He gets a landing. But is Hugo sitting on the beach and worrying about Finn Flugel?
Maybe. Well, he's definitely going to be watching. Okay, Finn Flugel here. Front roll. Board off. And you can see there, showing a nice bit of technicality on the way down. Not once, but twice there. I'm just waiting to find out a little bit of confirmation as well for Borja.
Yeah, because with that eliminating the other score, it means he still sits in 3rd position.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that he should have another 3rd trick counting towards that score. So take it with a pinch of salt, let's say, for now.
One last trick for Lucas Halverson, the wild card from GKA. Not had the most fun in this competition, which is just that single score on the board and lots of swimming. And goes for one last trick. And can't get his foot in the foot strap, so that is another crash for the American, and he will be out of the competition. But what about Lorenzo Casati? If there are 3 scores on the board for Borja, which at the moment he will see there is not, on the big screen it will be showing the 14.53, and therefore Lorenzo will be seeing that it's advantage to him. But if that is technically incorrect, then Lorenzo needs to go big. Lorenzo hanging around close to the Fahid Island Beach Club. In the water for the moment, still waiting on the score, I think. Well, we can't be waiting on the score for green because that was a crash. Ooh, and Lorenzo goes down in the water as well. Just found a bit of too forward on balance. Now he gets back up again. The timer will be ticking for him. And just 18 seconds remaining. Same families. Lorenzo, therefore, with the advantage.
Yeah, he needs to put down a big score here nonetheless, because Bora's going to be hot on his heels for that second place.
And is that a big score? 4.93 is his worst score for a back roll board off earlier on.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's not really going to give it much competition. It's going to be pretty similar or around that ballpark anyway. Let's wait and see. His score's coming. He's on a 16.86 as it stands, and he is still in second place, closely hunted by Bora, who's going to be following up next. Finn Flugel, we know, is already be going through to that final with a 21.34.
Both Lorenzo and Leonardo were in the final in Silt, but we may be seeing something different here. Waiting on that score for Lorenzo to come in. He's looking over. 6.83 is the score, so it is an improvement. Moves him up to 18.76, so a little bit further away from Borja. Borja needs a 4.2 or more on this last trick. Here he comes. Great height from the Spaniard.
Inverted front roll.
Huge height from the Spaniard.
Yeah, really nice there. Inverted front roll, the teapot stance.
Styles it out, lands it as well.
Oh, that could
Is
be
that
enough?
Is that a 5 to get him through into the final here in Abu Dhabi?
He's done that for the pictures. He's done that for the photos.
Well, it's style, isn't it? And there's so often it's talked about style. The clock runs to 0. Let's see what the judges thought of that. From out of our window, the height was magnificent. A 6.17.
Yeah, it's done it.
Borja goes into second position and eliminates Lorenzo Casati from the competition. There is Lorenzo shaking his head.
He knows. I'd love to see a replay, or we go for Finn first, but of that border after. But here we go. Finn Flugel, last trick. He's through. He's gone for a 1 foot. Doesn't need to worry about this one too much. But crazy amount of rotations, landing the opposite way. He's gone for the back roll 1 foot there. Well, that is his lowest score anyway, the 5.60. And will we see that 21.34 bump up a little bit more as we wait for this final trick to come through?
So here is that last trick of Borja again.
Inverted front roll with the 1 foot. And this is where it gets nice and stylish.
It's got so much hang time.
Ready?
With a serious face as well.
Yeah, it's like calm, cool, collective. And then the old claim at the end, you know?
An improvement for Finn Flugel. 22.31 moves him a little bit further ahead in the standings. But Borja Velon, that man there, not in the final in Silt, but is in the final here in Abu Dhabi to eliminate Lorenzo Casati, and that means Casati will not be world champion. Still possible for his younger brother Leonardo, who is in the final. Not possible for Borja. And still going out there is Lucas, desperately trying to get a score in. He's obviously not got any more attempts left, so maybe he doesn't realize that. But here are the top 3 tricks. And Borja's big air across this competition. I mean, it is called a big air for a reason. And that was his early 7. But Finn Flugel with a 22-point score. 2 points off Hugo Wigglesworth, but it's between those two for the title. And actually, there was a double tic-tac in there, was there not? So then, we switch our attention to the women's competition. It's finals time for our 4 women. They've had their semi-finals across the last couple of days. And I think we've already got them out on the water. Finn Flugel doing some social media. We've got Joe down on the beach as well. who hopefully has grabbed a microphone. Because actually, I do not think that they have the women out there yet. Not all of them. So a bit of time to fill. Whilst we do so, let's take a quick break and we'll be back with you for the women in a few moments' time. There are your women for the final of Women's Hydrofoil Big Air. The winner of this will be the world champion, Andrea Zust, defending her title from last year. Christelle Divry alongside her, Katarina Salandova and Annie Branton. Your 4 athletes with 7 attempts, 3 to count, and slightly better wind than they had in their semi-finals and quarterfinals a couple of days ago. There is Katarina. She will be in blue. Annie Branton will be the first to go from the UK. Best score in the quarterfinals was Andrea Zust with a 15.44. And there is Annie Branton. I think that might be her first trick attempt. Just a 1.63 she managed, I'm afraid, on the in her heat, but it was enough to get her through. It was enough for her to eliminate Joanna Muller. So this really is Christina Divry against Andrea Zust for the win. Yeah. Katarina going next.
Oh, crash there for Katarina. Not how you want to be opening up the heat. Waiting for that score to come in for Annie, who actually struggled quite a bit yesterday in those really light conditions, as did quite a few riders out there. You know, when it becomes really, really light, the technical side of it, even just getting up on the floor becomes a real challenge. So it's really good to see, like we've said today, that we do have that bit more breeze. We've got freestyle riders on twin tips out on the water. And, Wingfoil is training for the upcoming competition over the next few days. And we've just got 2 heats now left in the Hydrofoil Big Air. Women's final and men's final. And we just saw a lovely little front roll 1 foot. Good shot there of our freestyle riders, getting a bit of training in. And there we see a wingfoiler on the right. So it's all happening out there on the water at the moment.
Fahid Island absolutely designed to be a water sports paradise, and it's just becoming that this afternoon.
Yeah, it's super nice being able to go out and kite in board shorts. And
yeah,
it's so warm. Beats the UK weather at this moment in time.
Andrea Zust, though, still thinking this is a Swiss lake in the middle of winter because she's got her full wetsuit on, and it's a thick wetsuit. I saw it earlier on, and it's not. It's also not a shorty. She's got the whole thing. Well,
yeah,
it's a
but
shorty.
It's working. 4.17 we saw for Christelle, and now we're going to be going on to Andrea. Like you said, I would say she is the one to beat.
Must be warm.
Not going to get burnt though.
Not going to get burnt, that's for sure. And she is the woman to beat. 2024 world champion in this big air category for GKA.
Yeah, she took that title over in Brazil. Another, let's say, warm, sunny place. We'll be going there actually in a couple of weeks' time, where we'll be wrapping up the 2025 season. We've got a GKA Freestyle World Cup over there in Taiba Lagoon, and we've also got our kite surf World Cup as well also in Taiba. So 2 more events following Abu Dhabi. Andrea there actually being tricked out.
She's been timed out.
Yeah, it looks that way. Surprising there for her. But now we go over to Annie Branton.
It's part of the problem about where they are in relation to the screen, especially as the sun starts to come down here. It makes it harder and harder to see the screen.
Yeah.
Annie, ooh,
She's done a Lucas.
Dropping her board as she comes into competition area. And this could also mean a no score. This was a bit the problem yesterday for Annie, mainly with her kite. And she has the more traditional kite rather than what we saw with the men's category where they've got their special hydro air kite. She has the leading edge on that one, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's got the LEI kites there opposed to what we're seeing with the foil kites. She
does have a 12.
Yeah, she's got a 12. It looks like she's got power. She's up on her foil. I could have called that happening there for Annie. You could see her when she was riding in. There were moments where that foil really was on thin ice and it was wanting to breach. And just then, yeah, just couldn't quite keep it going with the amount of speed that she was generating. Katarina here going for what looked to be a like a 1-foot transition.
With a submarine at the end.
Here we go, let's check this one out. So going in left foot forward, jumps. Oh, she actually went for the rodeo, but we've only seen one of those performed well, and it was from Hugo. You know, actually being able to tuck the board between your legs, let go of the board, and actually he completed a full rotation before putting it back on.
And you need a huge amount more height as well.
Yeah,
that gives you then the time to be able to do that.
Yeah, height and time, that's what you need there for a trick like that.
3.5 though, it is a score on the board for Katarina. That puts her into second position because the others do not have scores yet. Here's Christelle Divry, 37-year-old from France. And was out running this morning. Saw her coming into breakfast in the hotel. All the athletes and our staff in the same hotel in Yas Island. So already done a fair bit of exercise and unfortunately a bit more there with a swim.
Front roll there, going for the front roll board off, but coming down with too much weight on the front of the board. So a crash there for her. And Andrea now making sure that she's right in the mixer and not going to be crashed out again. Freestyle riders, Claudia Leon, Francesca Bagnoli, also Leo there, all going to be competing in the coming days. They've been waiting patiently the last few actually to get any sort of breeze suitable for the freestyle discipline. So Andrea here, back roll board off, and nails it. That's nice there from Andrea. She'll be getting a score on the board.
A board on the score?
A board on the score. Now you're going to really confuse me.
And that'll be her first. Early on in this competition, we've still got 5 more attempts from our 4 women. Let's see what the judges think of that. It was well executed. It wasn't particularly a complex trick, but what it was well executed and clean.
Yeah, sometimes a simple trick which is performed better, you know, with good exit, you know, good takeoff, is going to reward you more than maybe something that's more technical with a sloppy landing.
A 6.47 then goes into the head of the field with Annie Branton next to jump. She has 40 seconds now to try and get a score on the board. Waiting in the water.
Okay, so just watch out for that foil breaching.
Heads into the competition area, the youngest of our 4 athletes.
Back roll. Looks like she's going for a double back roll. And she does slightly ride away from that one. Won't go as a crash there.
Just wanted to have a quick
you can
dip.
see nearly went again. So initiates the double back roll. Looking over that right shoulder. Yep, judges will score that. Doesn't spend too much time in the water upon landing. Probably very similar to what we saw from Katarina, maybe just under, I would say.
2.33 then, the lowest of the scores so far. On to Katarina from Czech Republic. 35 years of age. So say Annie, just 16. In some of our disciplines, we see that as the average age, but
Yeah, especially on the wing four tour.
in the yes, exactly. But our 4 women here. Here we go. Katarina then whistling down to the far corner.
Oh, she's gone for a back roll kite loop with a really tough landing on the knees there. You can see nodding her head. She needs more height if she's going to go for those back roll kite loops. She has the speed going into it, but yeah, really needs to edge up wind.
Well, we didn't see a kite loop from any of our men.
No.
None of the men have tried to attempt it. We did see one from one of the women in their semi-final. I can't remember exactly who it was.
It was Andrea, we've seen it from, Katarina, but the big difference that they're actually doing is they're riding those LEI kites. So what we're seeing on the other riders is, you know, those big foil kites, they do move a lot slower. So actually looping those kites in these conditions is a little bit harder. It's still pretty hard with the LEI kites that the girls are using, but they are going to turn a little bit quicker, which, you know, is definitely going to help you if you want to do and tick that kite loop category in these lighter conditions. But you can see there with the score of a 2.33, yes, it counts, but it's not really going to do much damage.
So Christelle Divry then.
What does she have? Front roll 1 foot, 4.17. Crashed her second one. Kite goes to 12. Front roll, board off, like that board off. And a really nice smooth landing there. Really nice control from start to finish on that trick there. And now we have Annie there. Playing it smart here, Annie. I think she just wants to sort of wait in the competition area. And then when it's her go, she's pretty much ready to go and all set. 6. Yeah, really nice score there from Christelle. Doesn't surprise me.
Was not on the tour, last year when this lady took the title. So a new competitor for Andrea. And that is a good score to compete with this Swiss. Goes for her third trick. Missed out on the second attempt. Decent amount of hang time there.
Yeah, back roll 1 foot. So back roll board off, back roll 1 foot there for Andrea. 2 tricks and 2 scores coming her, well, 1 score coming her way. She only needs just over a 4 to go into first place. I think this is going to do it. Good height as well. Takes the front foot out the foot strap. You can see there, pretty smooth landing. Doesn't quite pop to foil straight away, but you know, still a solid landing from her. Nicely executed trick.
5.1 the score. So she does stay ahead of Christelle, but it's relatively tight between those two for the victory, for the world title here in Abu Dhabi. Annie Branton to run next. She's just hanging out in the water as she was doing previously.
Yeah, she's quite far. She's quite far actually downwind though of the competition area. I would say, you know, if you want to wait somewhere, wait upwind.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't see many of them doing that though, do we?
Yeah, wait on the corner here on the left where we are, and then you've got all the box to play with, and you can see she's just struggling.
Again, gets tripped up by the foil coming out of the water. Gives you no stability. And down she goes, and that timer is going to tick to 0 again. Yeah. And she's not going to get her score in. That's a big disappointment.
Looks like there's her sister. Head on the hands on the head as she watches the clock go to 0. It looks like Annie could actually probably change her setup a little bit. Either take a slightly smaller kite. She's on a 12, even going down to an 11, maybe a 10. You know, in these lighter conditions, it might be a little struggle. But, you know, or maybe changing her setup on the foil, going for a maybe slightly smaller front wing. But she's still got opportunity. It's not over yet. Katarina now steers the kite to 12 o'clock, goes for a back roll. I'm not going to count that as a board off myself. You can see the freestyle boys at the corner of my eye. Maxime Chablos running across the competition area. He's a current freestyle men world champion. He's here in Abu Dhabi looking to start his season off well. Waiting for scores then for Katarina.
She was second in the world in the World Tour standings at the end of last year, where they had a single competition. It was her that's got the gong kite that we were trying to identify earlier on. A 3.2 for Katarina, so she's got 3 scores on the board, but still sits in bronze medal position. Christelle Divry goes once again from Nice in France. She's actually a world champion snow kiter. So used to doing this sort of thing, but on the snow and in the mountains.
It's all kite control, though. It's all good kite control. Okay, here we go. Christelle now. Front roll. Wants to go for the rodeo as well. But that will be a crash. Looks like Christelle, the one thing that she could actually do with is just more speed going into these tricks.
Give herself a bit more time as well in the air.
Yeah, just a little bit more commitment going into these tricks. And, oh, there we have current world champion on the women's freestyle, Bruna Kajia, Red Bull athlete. Knows competition like the back of her hand. Multiple world champion, should I say. And is looking for another in the 2025 season.
Andrea Zusten from Switzerland. Attempt number 4 for her. Already with 2 scores. And a nice landing.
Oh, little wobbly.
Just about holds on to it. Back roll board off and a back row 1 foot on the board for her right now.
Yeah, it looks like she wanted to actually go for a rodeo as well. Oh yeah, you can see she wrapped her legs around the board, but
didn't take a hand off the board.
Nope.
Again, these women that don't have the time really to do that. They haven't got the flights going on.
Yeah, I reckon if she had a foil kite on her hands as well, she could have a little bit more time in the air. Who's that there? I reckon that is, well, I'm not going to guess now.
5.3 for Andrea, so
nice
the
score.
judges liked it.
Yep. I think they're rewarding it, you know, the technical side that the women are throwing down here. We've seen those 2 rodeos scored, you know, with some sort of reward as well, which is nice.
Right, Annie, just 16 years of age. She is just about in the competition area this time.
Yeah, she should be up and riding now, though. As soon as she knows that that trick's been done from Christelle, that's when you should start riding, getting yourself into a better position. Because as soon as that clock starts, that 40 seconds begins. So she should be going now.
She's also got her back to the board. There's the 5.3 that's already been displayed.
Yeah.
And come in.
Come on.
But she's got her back to the board, so she's not seeing the board. She's possibly looking at her sister, who is looking at the board. But as you say,
here we go. So
should be riding. 35 seconds to go.
Yeah, so already lost 10 seconds.
She's still floating about. Now she gets up.
There we go. So needs to go for that trick now. Right foot forward. You can see just how high that foil's coming out. It wants to breach, but she's gone for the back roll with a kite loop.
Yes.
Back roll kite loop there.
And lands it. Pretty clean landing too.
Yeah, that was nice.
Not a great amount of height, but she goes down to the beach now to confer with her sister. That is attempt number 5. So 2 more to go, and we will desperately want 2 scores in the last 2. So what do the judges think of that?
Well, we've she actually pulled it with the front hand on that loop, which ticks the contra loop family. So it was a contra loop back roll.
And it's a 4.4 the score.
Yeah, nice score actually.
But no but.
Well, we had a 2.33 for the kite loop back roll of Katarina, so pretty much doubled that, just shy of doubled that for Annie, which has given her a nice score of a 4.4.
If she can get a third trick on the board, she could be troubling this lady for that bronze medal position. Katarina heading towards Luca's left.
Double back roll.
And doesn't land it. And it's also a decent crash for the kite as well into the water. Not so much of a problem with these more conventional kites that these women are using. So she'll be able to launch that and then have to go back and get her board. But at the moment, she's right in the middle of the competition area. Interesting to see that that timer is going, because it'd be tricky for Christelle to have space to do anything. There she is, but has she found any space in the competition area to actually do a trick? I'm looking out my window just to try and spot her. Where is she coming from? Oh, she's coming from far right-hand side.
Yeah, she's actually, because she's coming in right foot forward, she can do that trick. Well, she's doing it right in front of Christelle.
A nice landing too. Perhaps not the best executed rodeo that we've seen so far today. Take a look at it again. It's just the height.
Yeah, we saw Andrea do something very similar, and what did it get? Upwards in the fives, early fives, wasn't it? So I expect to see a similar score.
Although it was not scored as a rodeo, hers.
No.
It was scored just as a board off.
Yeah, and so it should as well.
So Andrea then. A third score to go. We've still got Katerina in the competition area. It's 5.17. There we go. The competition continues between our top two women. Just 2 scores on the board for Andrea, because the rodeo was scored as a board off, and because it was scored as a board off, she had already got a back roll board off earlier on, which was scored as a 6.47. So Christelle there, with this score about to appear on the board as Andrea goes for hers. And thought she was...
Yeah, I thought she was in the drink then.
Yeah. Still waiting for Christelle's third score to come onto the board. We saw it on the board on the beach, but it's not on our graphic as yet.
Yeah.
But it does put her in the lead because she's got the 3 scores.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna. I think it's the same family. What I'm seeing here.
Because it's a front.
Because it's a front roll board off, and she's already got a front roll board off of a 6.
Yeah. Andrea gets a 4.33.
Yeah. Andrea's played it smart there. She's just gone for a typical back roll, 4.33. She's got the back roll board off, the back roll 1 foot, and then just the traditional back roll. So leaving herself with a little bit of wiggle room on these last two tricks. And Annie now coming off the back of a really nice contra loop back roll. Suits her riding style, I would say, more down the big air sort of trick list, kite loops and contra loops. Is more, I would say, down Annie's street.
Not much time to get this trick in. She is in the box right in front of the judges. Yeah. But she's going to stall out here, and she's not going to get a trick on the scoreboard. That's a real shame.
Yeah, she needs to go quickly.
She needs to be earlier up onto her board, really, and earlier sailing.
She's going to do a trick now anyway, I reckon. Yeah, just a 1 foot, a straight jump. See, that would have been nice. That would have probably really given that 8.90 of Katerina a run for its money. So that's what she needs. She just needs a couple of those. One of those next time, get three tricks on the board. And then for Annie, I would say go for a kite loop, Go for what you're comfortable with.
Katerina Salandova with 2 tricks to go. She sits in 3rd position, in bronze medal position. But only 3.5's her best score.
Yeah.
A crash last time.
Back roll board off. Looks like she's slightly over-rotated there. And she's crashed out. Okay, so I tell you what, that 3rd spot is still well and truly up for grabs as we go into the last trick attempts. But first, we have Christelle and Andrea on their 6th. And the only rider actually, both Annie and Christelle just have 2 tricks scoring for their total. Christelle needs a good, she's a 5.9 or more, really. No, yeah, sort of 5.9 to go into first. Easily doable. She has a 6.
Christelle Divry then coming into the competition area.
Yeah, more speed. Get a bit more speed. There we go. Front roll. Double front roll. Spots the landing. Come on, steer that kite. going to be good enough. It's going to score.
It's not going to be a 5.8, which is what she needs if she wants to win the title.
No,
and it
no.
puts pressure on what she does in the next and final attempt.
Yeah, we'll give her that third trick score that she's been wanting. So she's pretty much done the same tricks as Andrea, but they've just gone a different rotation. So Andrea's done a back roll board off, back roll 1 foot, and a back roll. And Christelle's done exactly the same, but with front rolls. 2.7 there for Christelle. Last round of tricks, Ben. It's going to be tight.
One last one for Andrea. She is our leader with a total of 15.9. Lowest score is the 4.33. That was for her back roll. And nothing particularly spectacular there either. Let's have a look at what this was. We're going for that rodeo again.
Yeah, it's not going to go down as a rodeo.
So it then becomes a back roll board off.
Exactly, which is her highest scoring trick. So 15.90, there's going to be no push on that. There is Annie and her sister. So Annie needs to go now. She needs to go now. Yep. She needs to get going.
She still has the opportunity to get third position here.
Yeah, but she's going to waste 10 seconds again, starting her heat as soon as it goes. She needs to get riding now.
She only needs a 2.2 score. That will be lower than her score before. Lots of chat going on between the sisters.
Yeah, and I think she actually likes to do her tricks coming in the other way, which is why she needs to get going. So 10 seconds.
30 seconds
that
remaining.
40 seconds goes so quick.
Is she up and sailing?
That's
yes,
better.
she is.
That's better. She wants to go this way. Here we go. She's gone for the same trick she went for last time, and that is good. Okay.
We might have a Brit in third position here, unless Katerina can pull something out of the bag for her final attempt. Here is that trick once again. Everything looks really clean here.
That's all she needed to do. Smart there. Good caddying from her sister, Georgina. Waiting for scores to drop. So keep your eyes on it. What does she need? 6, 8?
She needs a 2.2.
Yep.
It's nothing.
Yeah. It's not a lot at all. It's going to be in and around. I do think it's going to be enough, though.
It's not going to be a 6 that will put her into the realms of Christelle.
No, this is for a podium spot.
But this is still for that third step. And then Katerina to come afterwards. 3.23.
Boom, she's done it.
She's done it for the moment, but only clear by 1.06. So Katerina just needs a 3.4, and she could snatch that back. Here she goes now for her final attempt. She's crashed on the last 2.
Yeah, her lowest score is a 2.33 of a kite loop back roll. Is she going to go for the kite loop family? It's a big risk if she does. She does. She goes for the kite loop back roll. And it's a really heavy landing. It's a really heavy landing.
Oh, no. Oh. For me, that's pretty much exactly what happened on the first kite loop.
Yeah, it's if she actually didn't have that sort of second stall on the crash, I would have said that maybe it's going to be super tight. Yep, see, she does land it, but it's here. She just dunks the board again. So more points to be deducted.
Oh dear.
2.33. That's the lowest one that she needs. So what does she need? She needs around a 1. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be enough.
As I say, needs a 3.4,
No.
2.17, worse than her previous kite loop. Katerina will be in 4th position, and Annie Branton at the death, snatches 3rd spot. Now to who will take the victory and who will take the title in 2025. Christelle Divry or Andrea Zust. Here is the French lady from Nice, from Serre Chevalier. She doesn't need much.
That's better height, double front roll. Oh, it looks like she wanted to get that foot out as well. No. She needs to improve on that 2.6, and it's not going to be enough.
No, because she needs like a 6 or a 7 from that, and I'm afraid Christelle just not Doesn't look committed, does it? Looks pretty chill. The initial pull was good. There was the double roll. And then there was a lot of concentration on making sure it was a cleanish landing. And I'm afraid, I don't think that's going to be enough. A 3.7 does get on the board and improves her front roll from before, but it looked possible earlier on, but Andrea has seemingly had control, and now it is just a celebratory final trick for the Swiss lady. Champion in 2024, and she is now guaranteed to be champion in 2025. What she got for the crowd here in Abu Dhabi?
Go on, give us something nice. Oh, very nice. Little back roll, 1 foot. And I can see the Swiss flag on the beach.
And much like we saw from the men, she hasn't dropped it once. She was a bit late into the water and missed her first trick attempt, but hasn't fallen in the water, hasn't crashed, and has got solid scores across the board. A 5.93 and a 5.27 being left on the table because they were of the same family as better scores. A 6.47, a 5.1, and a 4.33 for the back roll. And that is enough for Andrea Zust to be champion again.
And there we see Tom Hartman, the GKA tour manager, ready to hand and actually give the flag to Andrea's partner, Pierre Schneider, who, unfortunately for him, was competing in the Hydrofoil but got knocked out, as we mentioned yesterday. But they can still celebrate this victory together.
Waiting for her to come in. And she's waiting for a signal to come in, I think. She's looking at the board, trying to see what score she's got. The score is being given to her. There's a couple of other kites in the way, but the Swiss flag flies. And there is absolutely no problems about getting your feet wet here in Abu Dhabi because it is so warm. But Andrea Zust is your world champion and your event winner here in Abu Dhabi for the Hydrofoil Big Air Women. That's the best prize of the lot.
There we go. She's done it again. 2-time world champion now, Andrea Zust. And what a moment to be able to celebrate it here. Put a big score down. Her biggest score, 6.47 for that back roll board off her second trick of her heat. She then backed that one up nicely with a back roll 1 foot of a 5.10. And then we saw the double back roll of a 4.33. And she is and remains our Hydrofoil Big Air Women's World Champion for 2025.
There'll be celebrations this evening. The tricky conditions here in Abu Dhabi making it difficult for all of our athletes to really extract what they wanted from this big air competition. Just what, 10, 12 knots that we've got today, probably blowing up slightly more than forecast actually.
Yeah.
And that's allowed these competition to continue. We're starting to get that golden light, which is so wonderful here in the Middle East at this time of year. And there is a big, big smile on the Swiss athlete.
Big one coming up next, though. We still have another final to go in this men's Hydrofoil discipline. And here we go. Here are your finalists. Leonardo Casati, Bora Vellon, Hugo Wigglesworth, and Finn Flugel. So Finn Flugel here, worth noting, being last to jump in this heat. Real key advantage there. Especially on Hugo, you know, you're able to see what all the riders do, whether they crash, what they perform. You also, the big thing that he can see as well is that scoreboard. Knowing what the likes of Leonardo, Borda, and Hugo are going to trick, what score comes in, and then he has the option to either try and do better or do something of his own. So, yes, they're all in the final, but those positions on where you jump can have a huge impact. First up, Leonardo Casati, left foot forward, going for his first trick. It's a front roll with the board off, tic-tac, down looping that kite, getting that additional lift.
And just misses his front foot. So unfortunately, that's a crash. There was so much time for you to call that one.
I know. I could have said it in slow-mo.
He was up in the air for a long, long time. But unfortunately, just missing his foot strap. So we move on to Borja Velon, who is now in blue. Saw him in yellow for the rest of the competition. And let's see what the Spaniard can do. Interestingly, Leonardo running as an Italian, Lorenzo running as a Spaniard in the registration. And Borja really does have some speed, doesn't he? And that gives him the height.
Yeah, lovely inverted front roll there with the 1 foot. Extends that, keeps that back leg out as well. Adds in the additional 2 rotations at the end here. And is straight back onto the foil. He knows he liked that one as well. Gives it a little shake and the claim. Just watch how much height he gets. Big inversion front roll. Extends that front leg. Takes the back leg out for a good few seconds. And this is what I like here. The amount of distance he covers coming down and adding in those 2 additional rotations. Very nice for Borja. That's got to be up in the 7s for me.
A big score for maybe the underdog of this. We've got 3 people who could be world champion. And Borja is the one that can't. A 6.17. So judges not as excited about it as you, Leo.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that's why I'm here.
That's why you're the commentator.
That's why I'm here.
Leonardo can be world champion if Hugo finishes 4th and Finn finishes 3rd. It's the only way he can do it. Hugo Wigglesworth in yellow now. Yeah. And he has one hand on that title already.
Front roll with the foot swap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does he want the 5th?
Ooh, in the water.
Yeah, it will score. But it's definitely going to be deducted from his from what it could have been. Love that foot swap though, and he's we've seen him try it twice, and he's always struggled a little bit to get the back foot in. But this time, changes the feet, gets it pretty much dialed down straight away with the back foot, and then adds in those rotations. Just looks like he over-rotated slightly on that last one.
Judges scoring him a 0 though, so that is a crash for Hugo. And already in the air is Finn Flugel.
Yeah, the foot swap as well that Hugo's doing, I'm not seeing any other rider do either. So Finn Flugel now, he'll turn around. There we go, transitions. Expect this trick now, left foot forward. Here we go, Finn Flugel. Currently sitting 2nd in the rankings.
He's looking over his shoulder. I think Finn's already jumped. I think he's already, here is his jump.
Let's see what he did.
He was waiting on the score, wasn't he?
Yeah, you could see he was always looking over his shoulder. And that's a nice one from Finn there as well. Not a crazy amount of height, but I loved what he did with the boards.
And that's an 8.03 from the German.
Yeah, it's nice.
That puts a bit of pressure on Hugo Wigglesworth with a 0 score for the New Zealander. Casati will go next. Younger brother.
Yeah, what a way to open up the final, huh? Up in the 8s. Really nice trick there from Finn.
And it was going to be a good score for Leonardo. Had he landed his first attempt, it was a crash on attempt number 1. Here's attempt number 2.
Plenty of speed going in. Back roll. Takes the front foot. So it's a back roll 1 foot with multiple rotations. Slightly, I'm not going to say sloppy on the landing, but it's not a ride out on the foil. But it does look like
it's gone down
he
now.
has crashed there. So that's not going to count. You've got to cleanly ride out of these tricks.
Oh dear. Maybe the pressure getting to Leonardo just a little bit here. Doesn't have that comfort blanket of riding with his brother like he did in Silt. Both of them were in the final there on his own.
Fighting for bragging rights. That's what they were doing.
Boy, yeah, as you do. Still awaiting a score on that one, and Borja awaiting his release.
I want to see the teapot again. That's what I want to see from Borja. When he poses with that hand on the hip.
We're going to give that an official.
Yeah, we've got to come up with a name.
Get it on the trick list. 5.33 for Leonardo. So he does get a score. Isn't classed as a crash. Interesting that Hugo is classed as a crash, but Leonardo there spent enough time after the trick out of the water to get a score. And now I love what Bora can do. Big speed, big height.
Yeah, I love the height.
And now he just needs to clean up some of these more technical aspects.
So much speed coming in here. He's absolutely flying across the box. Front roll, inverted. Oh, and just... Yeah, but this is what we want to see, you know. These he's coming all the way into the beach.
Loses the board. The board a long, long way away from him now. Upwind as well. So that's going to be a little bit tricky to fetch. And he is right in the competition area as well. So maybe a little hold up for Hugo, who's now down close to the big screen. Look how close he is to the beach as well. And this is not something he can body drag up to.
No.
Because it is exactly upwind of him. So there's Hugo hanging out by the big screen. Maybe being released. It looks like he's got good speed across the box here to go for a trick.
Yeah, he's got plenty of speed.
New Zealander heading out to the back of the competition area.
All right, double back roll with the board off there.
Oh.
Yeah, just using his whole body there for balance.
Beautiful.
That's really smart there from Hugo. You know, he didn't try anything. I mean, we've seen him already do tricks, you know, of more, you know, complexity, let's say. But there, he's played it easy. He's played it cool. He knows just get a nice trick on the board and then work upwards from there.
Look how clean this was as well.
Yeah, it's nice here from
Full
Hugo.
rotation on the legs, full extension on the legs. And then plenty of time to tornado down with that arm out.
Yeah. What I like about that as well is it's a really clean landing, you know. Straight onto foil, smoothly right away.
And it is an 8.
Oh,
the judges loved it. It's not quite as big as Finn's 8.03, but now we've got a competition on our hands. Finn Flugel next to go, already with that big 8 score on the board.
Yeah, he's done the back roll tic-tac. He's going for a front roll. There's the tic-tac as well. And now the tornado that we're seeing both him and Hugo do so well. He loves it as well. And he loves that. Finn Flugel, second trick attempt.
Another big score for the German here. There is no doubt about it. Look at this. It's more committed for me than Hugo. Hugo is incredibly clean. There's the tic-tac. Front foot in, back foot in, tornado.
Yeah.
And a nice clean landing as well. Foil to foil. The board doesn't touch the ground whatsoever.
Yeah, that's really... The only thing I would say he didn't have there that I've seen is Bora's going, like, for example, Bora's getting the height. But the score says it all. 8.57 there for Finn Flugel. So, you know, judging, like we say, really liking the technical aspects of that trick and the control that Finn was showing in the air and on the landing.
Wow, the level is so very high for this final of the Hydrofoil Big Air men's category. Attempt number 3 for Leonardo Casati.
Yeah, he's getting some good travel distance as well here, Leonardo, and really puts the brakes on at the end.
Manages to sail out of it, but the board does need a bit of pumping to get back up onto the foil. That's not the level of Hugo and Finn, though, is it?
Love how he was able to just put the brakes on there on that on the landing. It's really starting to get tight here. Moroni on the third trick attempts from these riders. Waiting for the scores. You can see there 16.60 is your total score for Finn Flugel.
After just 2 tricks.
Yeah.
After just 2 tricks. That's better than the females, the women's final score after 7 attempts. 7.37 for Casati. So the judges like that one. That brings him into the mix. Here comes Boha Velon. Has the height. Probably the biggest of the big air competitors that we've got here. But now needs to tidy up those tricks.
Inverted front roll. Doesn't drop the board this time, but it, yeah.
Oh, he loses his back foot though.
Yeah, he just looked in a bit of a mess from start to finish there. I don't think he got the takeoff he wanted. You saw he went up, but he didn't get that vertical takeoff. He sort of just, you know, traveled a lot.
Just take a look at that replay once again.
Oh, I don't want to miss Hugo. Here we go.
Hugo coming into the box, powering up. Got himself an 8. but a crash on the first attempt. Didn't see any crashes in the semi-finals.
It's a back roll with the rodeo. There it is. Takes both hands off the board. Little 1 foot as well on the way down. Needs a clean landing here and absolutely smashes it on the landing and claims it. You know he liked it.
Super, super nice. There's 3 tricks in here, 3 distinct tricks.
Yeah, extension with the legs as well. So board off into the rodeo and then here with the little 1 foot. Very nice. And just pulling on that front hand of the bar. This for me has got to be up there. Better than the last rodeo we saw him do in the semi-final, in my opinion. There, big one, 9.07.
Biggest score of the competition. A huge 9.07 for Hugo Wigglesworth for his back roll rodeo with a 1 foot in there as well and pressure back on Finn Flugel.
Front roll with the 1 foot. Smooth landing. Ooh.
Looked really smooth landing, and then it just bubbled underneath him.
Yeah.
He was able to rescue it, but will that score him down?
Yeah, for sure. They're going to have a little impact on the score on the landing. Front roll, 1 foot, takes the back foot out, and then this is where he initiates that tornado. And I thought it was going to be an impeccable landing just there, but
Ooh, seeing out the window, a kite change for Finn Flugel. On the beach, one kite off, another kite on. There he is now reattaching himself with that different kite. Can't see above him what it is that he switched to. They were all on the same 15s, I thought.
Yeah, maybe he's gone to an LEI kite. 5.67 there for Finn. Yeah, so the landing having an impact. Yeah, so he's gone to an LEI now, so he switched from his foil kite. This tells me that Finn's probably maybe going to try and tick the kite loop category. Nico Dalmaz there, his coach on the left-hand side.
And watch out in the background because Leonardo Casati is about to go. It's between him and Borja Velon for the the bronze medal. Tic-tac from him, but it's just not as dynamic, is it, as we're seeing from Hugo and Finn.
I do like how late he put on that back foot, though. Pretty much right on the landing. Front roll, 1 foot, board off with the tic-tac. And then just here, look how late that foot goes off.
It's actually not got his...
It's not actually back in the strap, is
He's
it?
not got his foot in the rear.
Doesn't matter.
Back strap. But keeps the stability and actually still is happy not to have it. So
all right.
Should be a third score on the board for him.
Yeah, it will be. All right, Bora.
Score comes in. It's a 7.37. So a total of 20. He moves into second position because Hugo hasn't got that third score on yet. Borja needs to go big. He needs a big score if he wants to stay in this competition. This is attempt number 4. We move into the second half of the Hydrofoil Big Air men's final.
Back roll, Rodeo. With a nice...
Oh, no!
We saw him do that last time. Coming out on the landing, slightly out of control and just whipping in another back roll. There's Elliot Panett on the left-hand side. Freestyle rider, Bern Flugel, Finn's dad, checking the scores alongside his coach, Nico.
Another crash for Borja Velon. 40 seconds now to Hugo Wigglesworth.
All right, this has to be big here. Put the pressure onto Finn when we're in these 4 trick attempts. He is, at the moment, just on 2 tricks counting to his total score, Hugo, as he did crash his first one. He's coming in now the opposite way. He's coming in right foot forward with a front roll, foot swap, nice and clean as well. This is going to be innovation at its finest if he can keep this together, getting that additional lift on the down loop. Needs to quickly ride out, and so he does. Very smooth there from Hugo, and the foot swap, the cleanest of them all.
Board came in the water at the landing, though. It wasn't straight onto the foil. Is that going to score him down a little bit? Very clean foot change.
Yeah, they're so technical to do that without touching the board. You know, he's got his hands on the bar. And he's just swapping his feet mid-air without even touching the board. No one else is doing that so far in this competition.
7.5 is best score in the semi-finals for that. I'm waiting to see what the judges are going to score. Is it better than what he's done before? Liam says yes.
I haven't said anything.
Watch out for the kite for Finn Flugel's next attempt, because he's, with that kite, now able to do a kite loop. A 7.5, so there's still, it is the best of the foot swaps that he's done so far, but it's still not the 8 and the 9 that he's managed beforehand.
Yeah, what it has done is put him into first place now with Finn on his 4th trick attempt. Looks like he's going to go, he's going for a handle pass. The Kung Fu pass there for Finn Flugel and just skips out.
And he's not clipped back in either, so he has to hold on to that bar, doesn't he?
Yeah, because that bar's at like full pull at the moment. Sorry, the kite's at like...
He's got himself attached, so...
Oh, he's so nearly... Yeah, you know he nearly had it. This is where Finn's freestyle backgrounds, when it comes to, you know, riding those twin tips, comes in so handy. Being able to unhook. You know, ticking that family we haven't yet seen done. Showing the variety.
Leonardo Casati then, 2 points off second position. Had a big, 2 decent scores, 2 7.5s. And here we go. 1 foot.
Yep, 6 rotations there for Leonardo Casati, followed by a crash. Yep, definitely going to be a crash there for him. Remains in 3rd place. Trick attempt number 5, so we are past the halfway point now in this heat.
Fahid Island, only 1 score on the board with 3 crashes. Desperately needs to land something here. He's got the height. He maybe doesn't have the technicality in the air that we see from some of the others. But he definitely has the speed if he was racing.
Yeah, he'd be
unbelievable.
Flying. Yeah, he'd be gold medalist for sure.
Flying into the box, moves the kite up to 12.
Front roll board off.
Nice extension. Oh, is he going to stay with it? No.
Yeah, it looked all well and good just until he went to go and put that board back on. Looks like he just initiated that down loop a little bit too early.
And that is really starting to compromise him. Kite in the water as well now.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be able to save that. It's just out the water. Right, Hugo Wigglesworth is leading, but a 7.5 for that foot swap in the air. What else can he throw at us to just move himself further away? Because he should know that Finn is going to improve his 5.5.
Yeah, front roll board off. Nice amount of inversion there. Ooh, pretty firm on the landing, but does keep it together.
No front rolls on his card at the moment.
Nope.
Back roll board off and a back roll rodeo. So that's important because it means that it's a different family.
Yeah. Good extension with the body. Showing a good element of control. Pretty heavy landing there. But it was pretty much back onto foil as well, so score will come. I don't know if it's going to be enough to push up, but let's see.
Improve on that 7.5. It's a 7.6, so it does. So it knocks out the innovation score from his last trick. But surely Finn Flugel can improve on the 5.67 from his front roll 1 foot earlier on. Crashed on his first attempt with this different kite, and he's going for it again.
Yeah, unhooked. This one looks not as high, a little bit more in control. And he's done it.
Dad celebrates on the beach. He's unclipping that kite from him and passing that around his body. Huge risk to do that, as we saw from his first attempt where he dropped it. Interesting, he's coming back into the beach. I wonder if he's going to switch back
for sure
to a different kite now. Here is that pass around.
I think this is the only reason he wanted to swap for that kite. So he's gone on this kite for that reason. I reckon he's now going to grab the foil kite again and go for moves with more hang time, be able to be a bit more technical in the air. But let's wait and see, because up next we're now in 6th trick attempt. So we've got 2 rounds of tricks to go.
This is going to put him ahead. This is going to put Finn Flugel ahead of Hugo Wigglesworth. 2.3 improvement, so that'd be a 7.9.
Oh, it's going to be tight though.
Could be tight actually.
Yeah.
Judges, parents,
Everyone's eyes are
everyone
on the board.
waiting for that big screen to tell us the story.
Yeah, let's wait and see. I mean,
what's happening down the beach? Is there a new kite for him? He's waiting down on the beach. I think there is a second kite alongside him as well.
It's going to be tight, I think, this score. It's going to be like real on the borderline. Yeah, 6.73.
Dad didn't like that. So the question is now, does he go back out and try and improve on that score? Because that's his worst of the 3, which means he would then stay on the same kite because he needs that kite to do it. Keep an eye out of the window for you as we watch Leonardo Casati on attempt number 6. 2 scores remaining for him. He sits in 3rd position.
Leo now left foot forward. Back roll, 1 foot. 1, 2, 3 rotations there.
Not bad.
But yeah, I think he knows he's it's a tough one here, competing with the likes of Hugo and Finn at the moment. They're really fighting for that first place between the two of them.
Back roll 1 foot. 5.33 scored in his 2nd attempt of it. And I think that will be an improvement on that because he crashed, if you remember, on that, that first score. So we might see a point or probably not 2, but it's not going to be enough to get him close to Hugo and Finn.
Yeah, Hugo, I'm still thinking about that 9.07 he did. The Rodeo with the board off, with the 1 foot as well. It had everything.
Still waiting for the judges to decide.
It's crucial times now, We're in the men's final here in Abu Dhabi. This is the 2nd stop of the tour for the Hydrofoil Big Air. We were previously in Silt back in August time where we saw Hugo Wigglesworth take the title there, Finn Flugel in 2nd. And this is now the 2nd stop for the Hydrofoil Big Air, the last one of the year, crowning world champions in 2 rounds of tricks time.
Borja Velon needs to land both of these for any chance to get himself onto the podium. And he just about lands that one. That should at least be a score after 4 separate crashes.
So looking into this one a little bit further on his 6th trick attempt. We see the front roll and the tic-tac. What I like here is he quickly whips around at the end.
Just about keeps the momentum going, but it's not as clean as that very clean entry with just the foil. A 6.4 from the judges. Do that again, and he could snatch Leonardo Casati's bronze, but who is going to take victory? Hugo Wigglesworth leads. A 7.5 is scored still.
Back roll, board off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rotations on the way down there, and the board does not touch the water at all. Huge move there from Hugo on his 6th trick. This is exactly what he needed.
He'll improve on an 8. That's what he needs to do.
Good height, grabs the board off nice and early. And this is where he comes into his own. Looking over that right shoulder, gets 6 rotations. Typically, we've seen, I would say, roughly on average about 4. And there he's just added another 2, and it's the landing that does it for me.
Absolutely beautiful landing. Waiting on that score. He comes towards the big screen to see what it scored as well. I can tell you, Finn Flugel out on the D-Lab, normal kite again, so he's going to be looking for that pass around to try and improve on the 6.67.
Yeah, I do think the first attempt that he did just had a little bit more to it, a little bit more height.
Can Hugo get better than a 7.5?
Yeah, I think Finn can get upwards, in the pretty high 7s if he really gets a good one. If he's going to attempt the same trick again. Judges taking their time here.
Interesting, the front roll board off not scored on those 3 scores. Same family as presumably the back roll board off.
No, the front roll, you know, front roll board off and the back roll board off, they are different families there because they're rotating in different directions. But you can see, yeah, it isn't quite enough on his last trick.
8.43 for Hugo Wigglesworth. And that moves him further away from Finn Flugel. Flugel needs to really get this perfect. He goes again for the same trick as before. And it stalls out for him. Not a great landing. He may have to keep that kite for one last attempt.
He's got a big decision on his hands now. Does he stay out there and try that again, or does he come in and go for something like what Hugo's done? You can see, super frustrated. Big decision. Looks like he's going to be coming in, I think, and changing. He's making his way into the beach. Eyes on the screen. There you go, 4.8. Yeah, Nico here, his coach. Yeah, he's swapping. He's going for the change.
So abandoning that idea as Leonardo Casati goes for his final trick attempt here. He is bronze medal position, but if Borja has a decent run, he could lose it. So Leonardo ideally would improve here.
Yeah, it's a 1 foot, but it was a really
I know.
sloppy, yeah, not enough for Leonardo.
Crashing down. And so therefore we focus our attentions on Borja Vela. He's got a 6.17 and a 6.4, but he did better in the semi-finals. And if he can get himself a 7.4 here, that is going to move him, 7.6 will move him ahead of Leonardo and into bronze medal position. One final trick attempt. He's only got 2 on the board. The rest have been crashes. Here goes the Spaniard.
Full pelt here coming in. So much speed. Looking like he's going to take off now. Starts to direct the kite up to 12 o'clock. Initiates the back rotation with the ball off and the rodeo. Can he get that back foot in? Yes, he can. And it's a very clean landing on his last trick attempt.
That could be enough.
Well, could be enough.
For Borja Velon. A little bit of a celebration in front of the beach as well. Look at how clean this is.
Yeah, it's nice.
He's got the height. I like the arm out stretch to really show what he's doing.
It's got a unique style.
And a little bit of a splash as he entered back into the water, but it wasn't a lot.
So for third place, this one, isn't it, really? This trick?
Oh, 7.73, and he's done it.
Oh, he's done it just about.
He's done it by 0.23, and he's onto the podium. But who's going to take victory? Will it be Hugo Wigglesworth, or will it be Fenn Flugel? Can Hugo, on his last trick here, improve on that 7.5?
Last trick here for Hugo. All or nothing, despite being in first place. Back roll. Foot swap. With the additional rotations on the way down, gets a little bit of lift towards the end there. He's happy with that one. He's very happy indeed, looking to advance on that 7.5 with the same trick.
This is his 4th try in competition with this foot strap swap.
It's a real mouthful, isn't it?
I don't know if that was as clean as the last one, but there was more going on around it.
He seemed to like it, you know, claiming it afterwards. He's pretty happy.
Scored a 7, a 7.2, and then a 7.5. And this is just to protect him. This is just to move him away because Fenn Flugel has a 6.67 on the board. A 7.73, it is a slight improvement again.
It does do it a little bit. Knocks out that 7.5, 7.73 now. Finn.
So Fenn Flugel about to run. He needs an improvement. He needs to do an 8.67. He's already up in the air.
He's done it with, he's doing the same trick, but he's swapped kites. He's going.
No.
Oh.
Barely holding on to it. I don't know how clean that was. The parents like it down on the beach. But is it as good? It's, I don't know, that's not going to be 2 points more than the 6.67 he did before, is it?
Tough. I mean, he gets the height. You know, he does get the height, passes the bar. The thing that these kites offer, though, more hang time. So you can see here really having to basically have his hand up on the line. He seemed happy with it, though.
Well, I don't know if that was shock that he managed to complete it, because he was holding on with fingertips to that bar. And if he let go, that is the kite disappearing.
Yeah, this is a big. This is when seconds feel like minutes. Waiting for this final score. 7.50.
It's not enough. It's not enough. Hugo Wigglesworth is your winner here in Abu Dhabi.
Does he know it yet?
And he is also the world champion for 2025.
He's waiting. He doesn't know. I don't think he knows he's won yet. He's looking around thinking, am I world champ? Have I won?
He's over by the big screen.
He is. He needs to see that New Zealand flag waving around on the beach. That's what he needs to see.
I actually haven't seen it in front of our commentary position, to be
No,
honest.
neither have I.
But it is Hugo Wigglesworth staying out on the water, waiting for the competition to officially end. Just double checking, yeah, they have had their 7 attempts.
Yep.
Sometimes they add an 8th attempt just to trip us up, but the 3 athletes still out on the water.
You hear Joe on the beach.
Maybe Hugo will be able to hear that at least. There is the New Zealand flag. It's taken a little bit of time to find. The dust has been taken off it, and here comes Hugo into the beach. Is there going to be a celebratory trick?
It's got to be one, hasn't there?
For our guys.
Celebratory trick.
Here we go. Yoo-hoo!
And there we go for his first time competing in the Hydrofoil big air discipline. He's only gone and won the World Championship. Hugo Wigglesworth out of New Zealand, riding for Fly Surfer, is your 2025 Hydrofoil men's big air world champion. What a heat he threw down as well. At 9.07, the highest soaring trick of the day, of the comp.
I think... Well, the board is a long way away from him.
Yeah, he's...
I really don't hope he doesn't try and go and retrieve it. Get somebody else to go and get it. Come into the beach and do our celebrations. We're all waiting for you, including the competition.
Let the jets, yeah, with the wind is there. Come on, we've got freestyle to get on with. These freestyle riders, where you look at him thinking, get out of our competition area. You've had it for the last 3 days.
He is going off to try and
yeah, no, he's going to get it now. There
is the beach here, Fahid Island, and Aldar Properties Development. At the moment, it's just a beach club and some sand. In a couple of years, it will be another city to add on to the growing Abu Dhabi.
And there we go, retrieves his board and makes his way back into the beach to swap the board for the country flag. And the New Zealand flag flies high in the sky.
Hugo Wigglesworth from New Zealand, with innovation across the competition, claims, well, I was about to say claims the, grabs the flag, but he walks away, completely walks away from the flag. It's actually got an earpiece in, I noticed there, so he has had his caddy on the beach telling him what to do.
That's a surfer ear, so he doesn't get the water in his ears, yeah.
Hugo Wigglesworth is your world champion and event victor here in Abu Dhabi. There's a New Zealander has claimed the championship. Finn Flugel not doing quite enough in the end, but what a competition between the two of them, both here and in Silt. And what about Borja Velon as well, snatching the 3rd position at the end on that final trick from the Kasati younger brother. There is the beautiful lagoon waterways around this Abu Dhabi city centre, which is to the right-hand side. The Fahid Beach Club with its paddle courts to the right. The centre of the beach, an athletes area, and then the stage as well, where DJs will be playing every weekend. Thank you very much for enjoying everything that has been hydrofoil big air from the GKA Kite World Tour. We have our champions, Andreas Zust from Switzerland and Hugo Wigglesworth from New Zealand. The Fahid Island in Abu Dhabi is playing host to its first water sports festival, and thanks to GKA Kite World Tour, we have the freestyle competition coming up for you here as the sun goes down on what is day number 3 of competition. But it'll be the first time the freestylers get a chance to get out on the water. It will be women's competition first. Women's round number 1.